How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today starts week 4 of Green Bay Packers training camp. It is day 11, so I have some highlights to react to and break down for you guys. Firstly, I wanted to apologize about the lack of content over the weekend. I actually still don't have internet. I'm going to be uploading this video on my phone hotspot, which is not a good connection. Now, I'm supposed to get internet back today, but we'll see. So I'm still trying to get this video out for you guys so I can give you guys some highlights from today's practice. I was trying to stream during the preseason game on Friday at my sister's house. The internet went out there as well, so that's why I wasn't able to post any videos about the preseason game, my thoughts on it, and all of that. But if you did want to see that, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll make a video about my thoughts on the preseason game. But nonetheless, everything should be fixed by today. I have power, I'm about to have internet back, so we'll be back right into the normalcy of content on this channel. I really do appreciate you guys sticking around and understanding the situation right now. Also, if you're a new viewer here and want to stay in the loop with everything Green Bay Packers, I'd highly suggest going down, clicking the subscribe button, and you'll get tons of Packers content right here on this channel. All right, so without further ado, let's bring up the highlight screen. And the first clip, I just basically wanted to show this because the Packers moved inside to the Don Hutson Center. They were supposed to be practicing outside. It was supposed to be open to the public, but it is raining right now. So the Packers moved into the Don Hutson where it's not open to the public, but it's still open to the media. So that's why we have highlights today. Here is a clip of Jaire Alexander talking to Roger Goodell. Goodell's in Green Bay. He had a press conference going over the upcoming draft in 2025, which will be held in Green Bay. But I also wanted to show this because Jaire Alexander is back at practice. I know he missed yesterday's practice on Sunday. He is back today. Now, I don't believe he took part in team sessions, but he was back at practice today. But I don't think it's a big concern at this point. I don't believe it's anything significant. They're obviously just being cautious with Jaire. He's not going to play in any preseason games anyway, so no real need to rush him out there. We know what we have with him. We know he's a lockdown corner. Here we have a running back drill with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, kind of a get low, then dodge the ball type of drill here, kind of a one-cut drill here. So we saw Aaron Jones do it there, and then I believe this is A.J. Dillon on the next one. The two obvious main running backs on this roster, it's still a question mark on whether the Packers are going to keep a third running back. They didn't go into the season with 3 running backs last season, and they very well could do that again, but right now there is definitely an open competition for that running back 3 spot. Lou Nichols is out with a shoulder injury, Tyler Goodson's out with a shoulder injury, and the only 2 others are Patrick Taylor and Emmanuel Wilson. Wilson who had an awesome preseason game. And speaking of Emmanuel Wilson, here's him running that same exact drill. Had an amazing game against the Bengals. Had 6 carries for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns, including that 80-yard touchdown run. Really showed out in this game and put up his name for the competition at running back 3. So before this, I kind of thought it was down to just Patrick Taylor, Lou Nichols, and Tyler Goodson. But now this thing is wide open. And if Emmanuel Wilson stays healthy and keeps producing like he did in that preseason game, he very well could be that running back 3, especially when we have Tyler Goodson out with a shoulder injury. Lou Nichols is out with a shoulder injury. Now, I still feel like the Packers do favor Patrick Taylor, and he played a lot more special team snaps in that Bengals game than all the other running backs. So I know the Packers are going to favor that as a running back 3, but in terms of production so far, Emmanuel Wilson obviously at the top here. So if he can replicate that in games 2 and 3, and if Goodson or Nichols can't get back on the field, he very well could be running back 3, but we still have 2 more games to go and more of training camp to go. In this clip, we have Jordan Love throwing a quick stop route to Luke Musgrave. Already started to see that connection start to build in the preseason game. Now, although Jordan Love only played 2 drives, I believe he targeted Musgrave twice, and he missed him on that crosser where he was wide open behind the linebackers. Jordan Love did a good job looking off the linebackers. Musgrave snuck right behind the linebackers, and Love just overthrew him by a little bit. But I wasn't so worried about the overthrow. He's going to get that down. It was more so the concept they were running with Musgrave, a deep crosser behind the zones of a linebacker, and he was wide open. And I think that's going to happen a lot this year. He's looking exactly as advertised when the Packers draft him. A wide receiver type of tight end, can stretch the defense out, can go vertical as a tight end, and can be a big mismatch up the middle of the field for Jordan Love. So I'm excited to see both of them just keep getting on the same page, building that rapport, and I'm hoping Jordan Love can get maybe a couple more drives these next 2 preseason games so we can start to see more of that heading into week 1. Here we have a clip of Tucker Kraft running the same stop route, and I believe it's Sean Clifford throwing him the ball. Sean Clifford really impressed me this preseason game. Yeah, he did throw 2 interceptions, but outside of those 2 interceptions, he was making really nice throws, good decisions, and all of that sort. So I know a lot of people don't like Sean Clifford, but there's also a lot of people that love Sean Clifford, and I think he's really showing up as that number 2 quarterback. Now, I've seen some weird tweets saying, they believe Sean Clifford should be starting over Jordan Love. I don't agree with that at all. I mean, we saw one preseason game. Yeah, he looked good, but Jordan Love is the quarterback one. But right now, I think Sean Clifford is quarterback two. Tucker Kraft with a nice catch there. I believe Tucker Kraft had one catch for 4 yards in the preseason game. Want to see more of him, and I believe we are going to after Tyler Davis, unfortunately, tore his ACL in that Bengals game and will be out for the year. So Davis was over Kraft on the start of the depth chart, the unofficial depth chart. Now that tight end room is super thin with DeGuara basically being a fullback, Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave, I guess really the only two listed tight ends. You could include Austin Allen in that room, but I could definitely see the Packers maybe signing a veteran tight end to add to that room here soon. Here on this clip, we have Christian Watson on the bottom, running a dig route thrown by Sean Clifford, and then on the top of the screen we have Romeo Doubs running a corner route thrown by Jordan Love. So watching Jordan Love on this, it kind of just looks like he's just warming up, just kind of lofting the ball out there, and a lot of people kind of worried about that because that's what they kept seeing in practice during warm-ups and whatnot. Oh, Jordan Love has no zip on the ball, but watching him in that preseason game, he was firing that ball on multiple throws. That ball looked like a laser getting to the wide receiver. I believe he had one throw to, I think it was Doubs on the left side of the field near the red zone, and it hit him straight in the chest, and Doubs pretty much fell down while catching it. Just reminded me of Brett Favre throwing a ball so hard it would knock the receiver over. So it looks like in game, Jordan Love has a lot more velocity on the ball. He's really ripping it, which I love to see, because I think when you let Jordan Love rip the football, that's when he's at his best. So you can't take too much from practice clips like this where they're simply warming up, and it seems like Jordan Love is just getting that arm warm, because he's not going to throw as soft as that, because you can see he was kind of underthrown there. Here we have a clip of wide receiver Grant DeBose running a dig route. I believe it's Alex Magoo throwing the football. DeBose didn't suit up for that Bengals game, so I guess his back wasn't 100% ready. Would like to see him get a lot of snaps in second week of preseason, third week of preseason. He's looked pretty good since returning to practice, and he's definitely fighting for one of those last wide receiver spots on the team. Another wide receiver fighting for that sixth spot is Bo Melton, and here he is in this clip. Although he only had one reception for 3 yards in that preseason game, I liked what I saw from him because he had a key block on the Emmanuel Wilson touchdown run, and he also had 12 special team snaps. So, if we're talking about a sixth wide receiver making the roster, you're not really going to expect them to get a ton of offensive snaps during the season unless there's injuries. So it's really going to come down to what can they offer on special teams. So Bo Melton getting a lot of special team snaps, bodes well for him potentially making the roster as that sixth guy. I also really like him if he were to be on offense. I think he has a ton of speed. He's a great route runner, and I think he has great hands as well. So I'm just so excited for this wide receiver battle. It's definitely my favorite position to watch every year, and this year is just so much more interesting because it's such a young group, and there's like so much question mark there. So Bo Melton looked really good on this out route here, and I want to see more of him on the offense during these next preseason games. Next, I have a couple clips of rookie wide receiver Jayden Reed, and man, he impressed me. He lived up to what I expected during that preseason game. They used him on a jet sweep touch pass, so kind of what I've been saying. The Packers are going to use him as a motion man, getting him the ball in space. And then also that one catch, that crosser where he got up and pretty much mossed the defender, snagging that ball out of midair, thrown by Jordan Love. Just looked so impressive over the middle of the field on that route, on that play. And I'm just so excited for him in this offense. He lined up mainly in the slot for the Packers offense during that preseason game. And that's exactly where I see him, lining up for. And he's going to be a starting slot wide receiver for the Packers, in my opinion. So he looked great in that first game. So excited to see more of him and to see Jordan Love just continue to build that rapport with him. Reed is just such a fluid route running wide receiver. He just is a technical wide receiver. And that's what I said after the Packers drafted him, after I watched his tape, did the research on him. And I just feel like he's a very technical type of wide receiver, and he does everything by the book. And I think he's going to get open a lot, and he's going to create a lot of separation for this Packers offense at that slot position. It's going to be very important for the Packers to have the middle of the field, for Jordan Love to throw to. So for Luke Musgrave, Jayden Reed, or crossers with Christian Watson, I feel like the Packers definitely need to utilize the middle of the field. They really haven't been doing that under Aaron Rodgers. I think they will under Jordan Love, and it starts with guys like Jayden Reed and Luke Musgrave. The final clip we have is Packers 5th round rookie Dontavian Wicks, who was the leading receiver in the Bengals game with 3 receptions for 68 yards. He was also super impressive. Definitely an underrated draft pick there in the 5th round. Just super shifty. Like, he's not super fast, but his 1 foot in the ground, I say this so many times, you can watch here on this little double move type of route here, just one plant in the ground and up the field. Just a really nicely ran route by Wicks here, and he showcased that in the Bengals game. His ability to create separation, catch the football. We saw with those 3 receptions for 68 yards. I'm super hyped for Wicks. I'm so glad he's back practicing and able to showcase his skills. He's a roster lock for me, that receiver number 4 or 5, and I think he will get offensive snaps, going into the season at some point. Even as early as week 1, he may get some snaps, but we'll see what happens. He also showcased his run blocking ability on Emmanuel Wilson's first running touchdown, so obviously the Packers love their run blocking wide receivers, so if he can do that well, he'll get on the field. But that's all the highlights I have from day 11 of Green Bay Packers training camp, and I wanted to remind you guys, you have 2 days to enter to win this signed full-size alternate Christian Watson Packers helmet. The way you enter in this giveaway is go to pristineauction.com, register on their website using my registration code BAS, B-A-S, and that will enter you to win this in 2 days. I'll announce the winner right on my community tab on YouTube, and then I'll start another giveaway. I'll be doing giveaways all year, so be on the lookout for all of those. Once you enter on their website using my code BAS, B-A-S, you'll be entered in all future giveaways, and you'll also get a free $10 site credit, so definitely go check out all the awesome Packers signed items they have on the site. But that about does it for this video. I appreciate you guys stopping by. If you could leave a like down below, it supports my channel a ton, but I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.